The Detroit Lions defense suffered a major setback last season when Aidan Hutchinson went down with a season-ending injury. His absence not only weakened the team's pass rush but also revealed just how thin the Lions were at defensive end. With Hutchinson now on track to return fully healthy, Detroit is counting on him to anchor the line again. But whispers around the league suggest the Lions are still looking for help off the edge for weeks. One name dominated that conversation: Trey Hendrickson. The Cincinnati Bengals star pass rusher had grown frustrated with his contract situation, skipped training camp, and appeared to be a prime trade candidate. Detroit, desperate for a dependable partner to line up opposite Hutchinson quickly, emerged as a logical suitor. That dream, however, may be fading. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that Hendrickson plans to end his holdout and report to camp, calling it a good faith gesture as contract talks progress with Cincinnati. For the Lions, that's potentially bad news. A trade had looked possible precisely because the Bengals seemed hesitant to make a long-term commitment to a player approaching his 31st birthday. Bleacher Report's Mo Moton even laid out a realistic trade scenario, suggesting Detroit could pry Hendrickson loose with a package built around a 2026 second-round pick and a fifth-rounder. He emphasized why the Lions' need was so pressing. Aidan Hutchinson is cleared to participate in football activities, but Detroit needs a reliable pass rusher opposite him on the defensive line. Moton wrote, "The current options leave plenty of room for concern." Marcus Davenport, despite his talent, has struggled to stay on the field, missing 28 games in just the last 2 seasons. Olquaden Muhammad has carved out an 8-year career as mostly a rotational player, while 2022 second-round pick Josh Paschal has yet to make a real impact as a pass rusher and is already heading into a contract year. Adding a proven sack artist like Hendrickson could have transformed the rotation and immediately elevated the unit. But if the Bengals lock Hendrickson down with a new contract, Detroit will have to pivot, and they might already have a backup plan in motion. A reunion with veteran Zadarius Smith remains firmly on the table. Smith arrived in Detroit last season via a trade deadline move and made an instant impact in Hutchinson's absence, finishing the year with 4.0 sacks, second most on the team. His brief stint clearly left an impression on both sides. Mike Payton of Atazi Sports recently reported that the Lions have kept communication lines open with Smith as he explores free agency following his off-season release. Here's where things are right now. We know that the Lions and Smith have maintained contact since the release went down, Payton wrote. The last time Lions general manager Brad Holmes says he spoke with Smith was before the league meetings in early April. Smith, for his part, hasn't hidden his interest in returning. Ahead of the draft, Holmes said the Lions had left things in the hands of Smith's agent and that his agent would let Detroit know if something was going on or if things changed, Payton explained. At the Bet Awards in early June, Smith told USA Today that he wanted to be back in Detroit. That's where we're at right now. We'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. For Detroit, the path forward seems clear. If Hendrickson comes off the market, Smith could be the most practical and familiar solution to bolster their edge rotation. With the NFC North looking increasingly competitive and Hutchinson returning from a serious injury, having another proven pass rusher isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. The coming weeks will reveal whether the Lions are willing to double down on last year's defensive gamble or finally secure the depth they lacked when their star went down.